You most likely hear about empty calories all the time, but we bet you default to thinking about cupcakes and donuts. Well, it's better you uncover the truth now. There are actually a whole host of useless foods out there. And by useless, we mean void of nutrition. When talking about nutrient density, it's all about the vitamins, minerals, and fiber, in other words, the things that work to fuel and repair your body. Each meal or snack that you consume should be seen as an opportunity to nourish your body and fill it with as many nutrients as possible. This is particularly true if you're following a weight loss or fitness plan, because nutrient-dense foods will help you achieve your goals much faster. According to expert, here's some worst foods that are never worth eating. Barbecue sauce. Just 2 tablespoons of barbecue sauce have 100 calories, more than 10 grams of sugar, and 22 grams of carbohydrates. That's enough to turn a piece of grilled chicken into a delivery car of empty calories. Beer. There really is nothing that pairs better with chicken wings than a beer, but most beers aren't worth the calories. Beer amounts to little more than liquid carbs, and a growing gut. Coffee-based beverages. Now this is really where calories can start adding up. Though coffee itself has a negligible caloric value, plenty of beverages on your coffee shop's menu can pack a quarter of the calories you'd ordinarily require to meet your energy needs. A 16-ounce pumpkin spice latte from Starbucks, for example, comes in at 380 calories, 14 grams of fat, and 50 grams of sugar. Yikes. Cream cheese. 2 tablespoons of regular cream cheese have 100 calories, 9 grams of fat, and 6 grams of saturated fat. What do you get nutritionally for all that? Not much. Cream cheese doesn't provide a significant amount of any good-for-you nutrients, even its calcium count is lame. Croissants. We know, biting into a buttery, flaky croissant can be a transcendent experience. Eat too many of them, however, and pretty soon your belly could transcend your belt buckle. A butter croissant from Starbucks has about 310 calories, more than half of which come from fat. Donuts. We have to wonder, how did these things ever become a breakfast food to begin with? Some of the offerings at Dunkin' Donuts come close to packing 500 calories, and 0 grams of anything nutritious. French fries. Potatoes are vegetables. What's a French fry but a vegetable heated with a little oil? Sorry to burst your bubble here, a lot of the nutrients and fiber in a spud are actually contained in the skin. The skin, in most cases, is removed when making fries. Oh, and then there's the fat. A potato's worth of fries has way more surface area than the potato itself, enabling them to soak up plenty of fat. Heat pasteurized juices. Different from those cold-pressed green juices that you see popping up everywhere, heat pasteurized juices aren't as healthy as they may appear. Juices, like orange and cranberry, often have to be heated at very high levels and have to be higher in sugar. Many contain added sugar, in order to undergo processing. The pasteurization process can kill some of the nutrients because the temperature is so high. Ice cream. The fact is that ice cream must have 10% milk fat for it to even be called ice cream, and some varieties have as much as 16%. Milk fat is largely cholesterol, which is a saturated fat. When your blood cholesterol level is too high, it can build up as plaque, a fatty deposit in your arteries that interferes with blood flow and raises your risk of heart disease and stroke. Ice cream is also high in sugar, which makes up the majority of its carbohydrate content. You'll get a small dose of calcium, but ice cream is never worth the calories unless it's a once-in-a-blue-moon treat for your taste buds and not a daily indulgence. Ketchup. Look at a bottle of ketchup, then imagine that 1/4 of that bottle is full of sugar, because it is. Don't be fooled into thinking that this omnipresent condiment has much to do with the goodness naturally contained in tomatoes. The sugar and salt override any cancer-fighting lycopene it contains. Mayonnaise. Regular mayo ranks among the worst of empty-calorie condiments. Non-fat varieties of mayo aren't a whole lot better, considering the sugar and preservatives they contain. Plus, it's a mystery if mayo is even a food. After all, it's made with eggs but can happily sit, unrefrigerated, on a supermarket shelf for months without breaking down or separating. There's something not quite right about that. Onion rings. The onion ring is a great example of how everything that's good about a vegetable can be expunged. Some say they're even worse than French fries because onion rings have more calories, more saturated fat, more sugar, and less potassium. Pancakes. White flour, sugar, salt, milk, eggs, and butter. There are too many low nutrient density ingredients, and not nearly enough eggs and milk to make pancakes anything other than big old discs of empty calories. Adding chocolate chips, syrup, or more butter definitely won't help matters. Pretzels. Pretzels seem like a relatively harmless snack. They've got the crunch and saltiness that many of us crave, and they're not really full of sugar or harmful artificial ingredients. The problem: they don't fuel your body. If you have fitness or weight loss goals, a bag of pretzels' empty calories aren't going to help you get over the finish line any faster. Processed meats. In its most natural state, meat packs lots of protein, vitamins, and minerals essential to health. But the more you tinker with meat, the more the bad stuff offsets the good. Processed and/or smoked meats like bologna, bacon, frankfurters, prosciutto, and salami are fatty, salty, and loaded with nitrates. Plus, 50 grams of processed meat a day, that's less than 2 slices of bacon, increases the chance of developing colorectal cancer by 18%, according to a report from the World Health Organization. Yikes. Soda. Not only is soda void of vitamins and minerals and packed with empty calories coming from sugar, but it also contains a ton of ingredients that can do some harm to your body. Regular and diet sodas are loaded with artificial chemicals like colorings and sweeteners. Both calorie-containing and zero-calorie, these, in particular, may negatively influence feelings of fullness and satiety, should be avoided. Also, dark-colored sodas often contain additives like phosphoric acid that can be dangerous to bone health. Sweet wine. Yes, wine has some antioxidants, most notably the resveratrol in red wine, which may help prevent damage to blood vessels, reduce low-density lipoprotein (LDL) cholesterol, the bad cholesterol, and prevent blood clots. But typically, the sweeter the wine, the more calories it contains. Dry wines have about 106 calories per glass, whereas sweet dessert wines have around 225 or more. 3 glasses of wine with dinner could easily add up to an extra 400 calories. You'll get some of that resveratrol but not much in the way of nutrition. Thick crust pizza. Cheese has protein, and tomato-based products have lycopene. That's the good news about pizza. The bad news? Well, it's all contained in a high-cal, low-nutrient crust. Pizza dough won't only impart very little nutrition to your body, as normally, it's made from refined white flour, but it will also spike your insulin levels, which means those empty calories will cause you to crave more simple carbs. Tortilla chips. This classic party food doesn't contain a long list of ingredients, but none of those ingredients contain a high dose of nutrients. Generally speaking, for most crackers and chips, much of the nutritional value of the grain has been removed during processing, especially when these foods are white rather than whole wheat because the husk and outer layers of the grain have been removed. They aren't necessarily bad, but they just don't offer much with respect to nutrients. White flour. As a rule of thumb, it's always healthier to choose whole wheat and whole grain options over products made with white flour. To get white flour, wheat grains are heavily refined and processed, stripping food of the fiber that our bodies love so much. Whole wheat flour is made from the same grains but retains its fiber content because it hasn't undergone that heavy processing. Getting enough fiber is important in any diet because it helps lower cholesterol, boosts weight loss, and aids waste elimination. White pasta. It seems as though pasta is always condemned to the diet don't list, right? The truth is, it can offer some nutrients if and only if you choose the right kind. It's also very important to pay close attention to portion size if you're watching your weight. It's better to choose whole grain because it contains more fiber, vitamins, minerals, and protein since the husk of the grain is left on. Pair your whole grain pasta with a healthy pasta sauce to avoid added sugars. Eating a poor quality diet high in junk or worst food is linked to a higher risk of obesity, depression, digestive issues, heart disease and stroke, type 2 diabetes, cancer, and early death. And as you might expect, frequency matters when it comes to the impact of junk food on your health. Knowing all these worst foods that are never worth eating, we must at least avoid to make a habit to indulge these foods. After all, health is wealth and prevention of future health problems must be imposed, and it starts from the food we intake. Thank you for watching this video of some of your favorite country dishes. Hope you enjoy. See you in our next video.